Ever seen a fisherman face off with a creature so wild it could only exist in nightmares? These jaw-dropping fishing moments will leave you questioning reality. From heart-racing close calls to catches no one thought were possible, these rare encounters are the definition of extreme.
This, guys, is the biggest fish in my life.
Fishing trips always come with surprises, but nothing could prepare this man for what he reeled in. He cast his line, hoping for a normal catch, but what surfaced was nothing short of legendary. A massive sturgeon, bigger than anything he'd ever seen. The weight on the line was so heavy, it felt impossible to pull it all the way above the water. With a few quick pictures, they realized this was no ordinary catch. There was no way they could haul it in, so they made the tough decision to let it go. Some catches are simply too big to take. Witnessing such a giant was enough of a reward. Shark encounter. What started as a normal fishing day quickly took a wild turn when one of the men felt an intense pull on his rod. The line tightened, and he assumed it was a massive fish. But as the catch surfaced, they realized it wasn't just any fish. It was a huge shark. The creature had grabbed hold of their catch and wasn't letting go. The fishermen froze, fully aware that they were no longer in control of the situation. With no hope of winning against such a powerful predator, they decided to cut the line and let the shark have its meal. Watching the shark disappear into the deep, they were left with a story that was even bigger than the fish they had hoped to catch. Whale encounter. The fishermen were enjoying a quiet day on the water when a massive shape broke the surface, sending ripples through the sea. A giant whale leaped into the air, crashing back down with such force that the boat shook. The impact left them frozen, unsure of what to do. If the whale had been just a little closer, the outcome could have been very different. But the boat remained steady, and the men watched in awe as the whale disappeared beneath the waves. The moment was rare and unforgettable, reminding them that fishing isn't always about the catch. It's about the unexpected encounters that leave a lasting impression. Eagle Heist. It started like any normal fishing trip until the man felt a powerful tug on his line. He gripped his rod, ready to reel in what seemed like a big catch, but then out of nowhere, a massive eagle swooped down from above. In an instant, the bird snatched the fish from the water with its sharp talons, carrying away the prize before the man could even react. Left holding only the rod, he couldn't help but laugh at the unexpected turn of events. It wasn't his fish anymore. The eagle had made sure of that. If there was ever a fishing crime, this one had to be illegal. Bear's dream. In the middle of a rushing river, a fisherman gripped tightly onto a massive fish, his arms straining as it fought against the current. The fish's golden scales, dotted with dark spots, shimmered in the sunlight as it tried to break free. The fisherman struggled to keep his grip, the force of the fish pushing him further into the rushing water. For a moment, it felt like a battle between man and nature, but in the end, he made the surprising decision to let it go. With one final splash, the giant fish slipped back into the river, disappearing without a trace. It was a moment so incredible that no one would believe it if it weren't captured on film. Fisherman Heaven. For most fishermen, patience is key, but for this lucky man, fishing was a breeze. Standing knee-deep in the rushing water, he didn't need to do much. Fish were practically jumping into his net. They slid down the waterfall in waves, making it look like the fish were racing to meet him. With a swift scoop, his net filled up over and over, and the fish kept coming. No bait, No waiting, just a constant flow of fish right into his hands. While others spend hours trying to reel in a single catch, this man's dream fishing trip made it seem effortless. Nature had decided to give him a free pass. Barbie's giant catch.
Oh, just bro.
Fishing for fun turned into a jaw-dropping adventure when a man with a small pink Barbie rod felt an unexpected pull. What began as a lighthearted cast quickly turned serious as the tiny rod bent under a force far beyond what it was made for. Struggling to keep control, he realized he had hooked something massive. After a tough battle, a giant sturgeon surfaced, its colossal body gliding beneath the water. The contrast between the toy-like rod and the river giant was mind-blowing. He managed to reel it in just enough to admire its size before letting it go. As it vanished, he couldn't help but laugh at the unlikely story. A Barbie rod nearly caught a monster of the river.
Guys, is the biggest fish in my life.
Fish frenzy. A man set out on a typical fishing trip, expecting a quiet day on the water. But what happened next was nothing short of wild. As he cruised along the river, fish began leaping out of the water, one after another. In seconds, his boat was filled with them, flipping and splashing all around. It wasn't a trick of the water. This was electrofishing in action. An electric current caused the fish to jump into the boat, making the man's fishing experience one for the books. No need for a line or bait. His boat was already loaded with fish, all thanks to nature's strange forces. Orfish Discovery.
Oh, is it one of those?
A group of kayakers off the coast of San Diego stumbled upon something unbelievable floating in the water. Initially thinking it was just debris, they soon realized it was a shimmering body moving gently beneath the waves. As they got closer, they were stunned to see a massive oarfish, a rarely seen creature from the deep. Stretching nearly 12 feet, its serpentine-like body reflected sunlight as it swam with grace. Marine experts later confirmed how rare it was to spot one of these, making this chance encounter even more remarkable. The kayakers were left in awe, having come face to face with a mysterious creature most never get to see.
Oh, there we go.
Amazon's hidden wonder.
That's way bigger than honey.
Fishing in the Amazon River is always full of surprises, but this catch was truly something else. A man cast his line, expecting a regular fish, only to reel in something enormous and strange. A massive fish emerged from the water, its sheer size and otherworldly features making it look almost mythical. The fisherman struggled to lift the creature, amazed by its power and beauty. The Amazon has once again proven why it's home to some of the world's most astonishing wildlife. With the moment captured on camera, it was clear. The river's secrets were still waiting to be discovered, and no fishing trip was ever quite ordinary.
Is that a beautiful fish or what?
That is fed.
This is gonna be... Come on, William, what do you reckon? 200? Yeah. We'll give him 200.
Smiling Stingray. Out on the water, a fisherman had an unexpected encounter when he reeled in a baby stingray. What made it even more surprising was the tiny creature's expression. It seemed to be smiling. Amused by its look, the man gently tickled the stingray, making the whole moment feel like something straight out of a cartoon. However, when the video hit the internet, it sparked a bit of a debate. Many viewers pointed out that even small stingrays can be dangerous to handle because of their stingers, while others argued that the man's gloves likely kept him safe. It was a rare and fascinating moment, leaving people both awestruck and cautious about interacting with these sea creatures. Rare catch.
parrotfish. Caught it here, my buddy Dave. Munster's fishing in Alamorada.
Fishing was going as usual when the men reeled in something truly extraordinary. A vibrant blue parrotfish surfaced, its beak-like mouth and shimmering scales creating a sight so unusual that it felt almost unreal. This rare fish, with its dazzling color, wasn't just a catch. It was a reminder of the ocean's wonders. Parrotfish play a vital role in coral reef ecosystems by eating algae, keeping the reefs healthy and thriving. The fishermen marveled at the fish's beauty, knowing they'd never forget this rare moment on the water. It was a catch that would forever stand out in their memories, a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
It's actually hard to believe that there's fish like this in the ocean. Look how...
River monster. One fisherman had no idea what he was in for when he reeled in his line. As the water parted, a massive grouper surfaced. Its size was so enormous that it barely seemed like a normal fish. With a wide mouth and a thick, muscular body, it looked like something out of a legend. The fisherman and his crew tried their best to pull it aboard, but the weight was too much for them to handle. No matter how hard they struggled, the grouper wouldn't budge. Realizing it was too big to bring on board, they let it go. With a slow, powerful movement, it vanished back into the depths, leaving the river's mystery hidden once again. Swordfish Battle. Two men thought they were in for a regular fishing day when they cast their lines into the sea. But as they reeled in, the water exploded. A massive swordfish was on the other end. The fish fought like nothing they had ever encountered, thrashing with strength that made every pull a struggle. The men held on tight, desperate to gain control, but the swordfish wasn't giving up. It surged with such power that they were barely keeping up. In the end, with one final burst, it freed itself and vanished back into the sea. Exhausted and defeated, the men stared at the empty water, realizing they had just battled a fish far stronger than they could have imagined. Lifetime catch. This fisherman's plan to catch a giant fish with his bare hands didn't exactly go as expected. Reaching into the water, he was ready to grab his prize, but the fish had other plans. It thrashed violently, slipping right through his grip, and before he could do anything, splash, he was in the water. But he didn't give up. Determined, he dove back down, quickly grabbing hold of the slippery creature once more. This time, he wasn't letting go. He surfaced triumphantly, holding his giant catch in both hands. His teammates cheered as he climbed back onto the boat, soaked but victorious. What started as a slip-up turned into an unforgettable victory. The struggle.
Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Two fishermen were out on the water, just going about their day, when one of them felt an unexpected pull on his line. The rod bent so sharply it nearly snapped, and before he could react, he was yanked straight into the water. His friend watched in disbelief as he tried to hold on, but the fish was too strong. It moved with such power that even his best efforts couldn't match it. For a few tense moments, it looked like his friend might be lost to the water, but somehow he managed to climb back into the boat, drenched, yet laughing at the wild surprise. It was a story that would be told for years. Rodfish surprise. The man felt a sharp tug on his fishing line and thought it was just another snagged rod or a submerged object. But when he reeled it in, he couldn't believe his eyes. It was a rodfish. This rare creature had a long, thin body that looked exactly like a fishing rod. Its sleek, straight form could easily be mistaken for man-made gear. Holding it up, the man marveled at its unique appearance, amazed at how nature had created something so unusual. This was a catch he'd never forget, proving that even the most experienced fishermen can still be caught off guard by the strange wonders of the deep. Flying fish. What started as a peaceful day by the water took an unexpected turn when a fish suddenly shot out of the sea, soaring effortlessly above the surface. It glided through the air with ease, almost like a bird skimming the waves. The man watching couldn't believe his eyes. This wasn't any ordinary fish. It stayed airborne for a few moments before diving smoothly back into the water. The sight left him in awe as he realized what he had just witnessed: a flying fish. He'd heard about them, but never expected to see one up close. That moment turned an ordinary fishing trip into something truly extraordinary. Hippo Chase. A relaxing day on the water quickly became a race for survival when a massive shape emerged from the depths. Out of nowhere, a giant hippo charged toward their boat, mouth wide open. Panic set in as they fired up the engine, hoping to outrun the surprisingly fast creature. Water splashed wildly behind them as the hippo closed the distance. With hearts pounding, they pushed the boat faster, barely escaping its reach. Once they finally pulled away, they couldn't believe how close they had come to danger. What started as a peaceful day had turned into an unforgettable chase. Unexpected dive. Fishing may seem simple, but this lady learned the hard way that things aren't always what they seem. It started as a calm day on the water, patiently waiting for that bite. But when she finally felt a strong tug, she yanked the rod with a bit too much force, sending herself straight into trouble. In an instant, the boat tipped over, flipping completely as she splashed into the water. The fishing rod floated beside her, almost as if mocking the situation. What was supposed to be a smooth catch turned into an unexpected dive, teaching her the lesson that sometimes patience beats power when it comes to fishing. Unexpected visitor.
Oh my god.
A man stood by the clear, calm water, focused on his fishing line. Everything was still and peaceful until something completely unexpected happened. Out of nowhere, a seal appeared. The fisherman froze, unsure of what to do. The seal swam around, curiously eyeing him, almost as if it was inspecting his fishing spot. It stayed for a moment, moving playfully in the water, then turned and dashed back into the depths, disappearing just as suddenly as it had appeared. The fisherman stood there blinking in disbelief, realizing he'd just shared his quiet fishing day with an unexpected guest. Unexpected guest. The fishermen were certain they had hooked something big as they struggled to pull in their net. Their boat rocked with every tug, and their hopes were high for a record-breaking catch. But when they finally opened the net, they were met with a pair of wide, curious eyes staring back at them. A massive sea lion had gotten tangled among the fish. The men were stunned, but acted quickly, carefully working to free the unexpected guest. After a final push, they helped the sea lion back into the water, watching it swim away effortlessly. The day didn't go as planned, but the men left with a wild story, one they would share for years.
Oh shit.
Eagles struggle. Eagles are known for their powerful hunting skills, but this one was caught in a fight it couldn't win. A fisherman spotted the bird struggling on the water, caught in the tight grip of a massive octopus. The eagle, instead of hunting its prey, was fighting for its life. Acting quickly, the man grabbed a stick and carefully pulled the tangled pair closer, careful not to alarm the octopus. With steady hands, he freed the eagle, and as soon as it was free, the bird soared back into the sky. The scene, captured on camera, left everyone in disbelief. Nature's unexpected twists never cease to amaze.
That was amazing. Look at the size of this.
Mysterious hand. What started as a regular fishing trip turned into a scene straight out of a thriller. The fishermen pulled up their net, expecting a bountiful haul, but as they examined it, their excitement turned to shock. A dark, webbed hand pressed against the net from the inside, as if trying to escape. Frozen in place, the men didn't know what to make of it. With caution, they decided to let the net sink back into the water, watching as the mysterious figure disappeared beneath the surface. Was it a strange sea creature or something out of legend? The footage sparked wild speculation, and no one could say for sure what they had encountered. But one thing was clear. It was a moment they would never forget. Birds in action. The men were enjoying a quiet day on their boats, waiting for the fish to bite, when nature threw them a curveball. A massive flock of birds appeared overhead, circling the water with laser focus. Without warning, they dove into the sea, hitting the water with perfect precision. The fishermen watched, stunned, as the birds resurfaced, their beaks full of fish. It was a moment of pure awe, nature's own experts showing off their fishing skills. These birds had it down to an art, spotting fish from the air and diving with incredible accuracy. It was a rare sight, reminding the fishermen that they weren't the only ones with fishing tricks up their sleeves. Fishy downpour. In Shandong, China, what should have been a simple task turned into pure chaos. On May 24th, a man was transferring a bag full of small fish into a pond when disaster struck. As he lifted the bag, it slipped, sending hundreds of fish tumbling out and splashing all over him. He tried desperately to grab them, but the slippery creatures wriggled everywhere, making it impossible to contain the situation. Laughter erupted as the man was completely drenched in fish, turning a routine job into a fish-filled mess. It was a scene no one would forget. One that proved the best catches don't always come in the form of fish. Swamp struggle. The swamp was quiet, a peaceful place for fishing, until the man felt a violent tug on his rod. This wasn't like any other catch. This one was different. As he struggled to reel it in, a massive dark creature twisted beneath his boat, thrashing with such force that the water churned around it. The creature's size and strength made him hesitate, unsure whether he should even continue. Before he could react, the line snapped, and the swamp monster disappeared back into the murky depths. He stared at the water, wondering if he'd just let the catch of a lifetime slip away, or if it was something far darker hiding just below the surface. Fishing fail. What was supposed to be a normal fishing trip turned into an unforgettable comedy moment. The man, confidently casting his line, aimed for the perfect catch. But just as he launched the bait, a giant fish leapt from the water to grab it. In a hilarious twist, the bait bounced off the fish's mouth and flew straight back, smacking the man right on the head. Completely stunned, he stood there as the fish splashed away, almost as if laughing at the situation. Onlookers couldn't help but burst into laughter. Instead of a big catch, he got a fishing story that would be told and laughed about for years. Lost catch.
I've got it.
Fishing usually means bringing in fish, but not this time. The man cast his line, expecting a simple catch, only to pull up something far stranger. An old fishing rod. He couldn't believe his eyes. Instead of a fish, a weathered rod surfaced from the depths of the river, tangled in the line with a worn-out handle. It was clear someone had lost it long ago. Though not the prize he was hoping for, it was certainly a catch unlike any other. With a laugh, he held up the unexpected find, turning an ordinary day of fishing into a moment he would never forget. Shimmering surprise. What started as a regular fishing trip turned into something out of the ordinary when these friends reeled in a catch that left them speechless. As they pulled it up, they couldn't believe their eyes. A fish shimmering in bright green hues, unlike anything they'd ever seen. The scales sparkled under the sunlight, reflecting a range of colors they couldn't even name. Holding it up, they examined it in awe, trying to figure out what kind of fish this was. If they hadn't captured the moment on camera, no one would have believed their wild story. What was supposed to be just another fishing trip became an unforgettable discovery. Whale's trick. Nature has a way of surprising us, and this moment was no exception. A video captured a massive whale flicking its tail with force, sending a fish soaring high into the air. The fish seemed to glide, staying airborne much longer than anyone could have imagined. It almost looked like the whale was putting on a show for the camera. After what seemed like an eternity, the fish plummeted back into the water. Whether it was intentional or just a perfect moment caught on film, it quickly became one of the funniest, most unbelievable fishing clips ever seen, leaving everyone in awe of nature's sense of humor. Turtle rescue. A peaceful fishing trip took an unexpected turn when a man noticed something struggling in the water. Floating near his boat was a tiny turtle, barely able to swim. As he took a closer look, he saw that its shell was covered in barnacles, weighing it down. Without hesitation, he scooped up the little creature and carefully began removing the barnacles, being gentle so as not to hurt it. After a few minutes, the turtle was free of the extra weight. He gently placed it back into the water, watching as it swam away, more energetic than before. What seemed like an ordinary day turned into a heartwarming reminder that even small acts of kindness can make a world of difference. Mystery creature. While strolling by the river, a man came across something so strange, it looked like it didn't belong. Lying near the water's edge was a pale, elongated creature with tiny, almost non-existent eyes, giving it an eerie, alien-like appearance. Curious, he pulled out his camera and filmed the bizarre find. The video quickly went viral, sparking debates online. Some viewers suggested it might be a rare salamander, while others thought it could be a soft-shelled turtle. Yet, despite all the guesses, no one could pinpoint exactly what it was. The mystery surrounding the creature only deepened, leaving the world with more questions than answers. Sawfish rescue. While fishing in the Northern Territory of Australia, a man was reeling in his line when he spotted something unusual beneath the surface. A sawfish was tangled in a fishing line, struggling to free itself. Realizing the creature was in trouble, he immediately called for his guide. Working together, they carefully cut through the tangled lines, being extra cautious not to harm the fish. After a tense few moments, they finally freed the sawfish. Without hesitation, the rare creature went back into the water, disappearing into the depths. The man watched it swim away, feeling a quiet sense of satisfaction, knowing that he had helped the magnificent creature find its way back to safety. Fish fight. A man sat by the riverbank, soaking in the peaceful surroundings, when sudden ripples caught his attention. Leaning in, he couldn't believe his eyes. A battle was taking place right before him. Two fish, locked in a fierce struggle, were fighting for dominance. One pike had its jaws clamped tightly around the other's head, refusing to let go. Realizing the danger, the man quickly reached into the water, carefully separating them. Once free, both fish darted away in opposite directions, ending their unexpected battle. It was a rare sight, one that no fisherman could have predicted while enjoying a quiet moment by the river. Fishing nap. The fisherman was peacefully sitting by the water, his rod in hand as he drifted into a deep sleep. Hours passed, but nothing tugged at his line, not even the slightest ripple in the water. His bait hung untouched, yet he remained perfectly still, looking like the epitome of a patient fisherman. Passers-by might have thought he was focused on waiting for the perfect catch, but in reality, he was just enjoying the best nap of his life. His rod hadn't moved an inch, and he hadn't reeled in a single fish. Sometimes fishing is less about the catch and more about kicking back and relaxing. Doll phone.
Oh my god!
They got it.
So cute!
A group of friends were enjoying a relaxing boating trip when disaster struck. One of them accidentally dropped her phone into the water. With a sinking heart, she watched as it disappeared beneath the waves, convinced it was gone for good. But then, something truly unbelievable happened. Out of nowhere, a dolphin emerged from the water, holding the phone in its mouth. The friends were stunned as the clever creature gently returned the phone to the woman, almost as if it understood what had happened. Just when they thought the moment couldn't get any better, the dolphin gave the woman a playful nudge before swimming away. The whole scene was caught on camera, leaving everyone in awe of this heartwarming and unexpected rescue.
Don't bring your phone to a dolphin encounter.
Subscribers pick. Jeremy Wade headed out for what seemed like a typical fishing trip, expecting to reel in a decent catch. But as soon as he cast his line, the struggle began. The pull was so intense, the rod bent at an impossible angle. No matter how much strength he put in, the fish refused to budge. After what felt like an eternity of back and forth, Jeremy finally caught a glimpse of what he had hooked, and it was enormous, even bigger than he was. As the fish neared the surface, its massive size left everyone in awe. This was one for the books, a true reminder that fishing is never as simple as it seems. The whole scene was captured on camera, leaving viewers stunned at this incredible catch. And with that, see you next time.